Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kamal Singh, Executive Director, UN Global Compact Network India. I am really delighted today to speak to you on the platform of OC, World Organization of Student and Youth. And I am also grateful to both Nitinji and as well as Sanjeev for giving me this opportunity. And the subject that they had thought of that where I can speak to all of you is about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and the role of youth. All of you are fully aware today there are 1.8 billion people between the ages of 10.24. They are the largest generation of youth in our history. Close to 90% of them live in developing countries where they make a large proportion of the population. Their numbers are expected to grow between 2015 and 2030 alone, and you see about 1.9 billion young people are projected to turn 15 years old, connected to each other like never before. Young people want to and already contribute to the resilience of their communities, proposing innovative solution, driving social progress, and inspiring political change. They are also the agents of change, mobilizing to advance the sustainable development goals to improve the lives of people and the health of planet. Before I come to that subject, let me also today take this opportunity of introducing what we all mean by SDG. Most of you must be aware in the 2015, world over 193 countries across the world signed the Paris Climate Accord. The highlight of the Paris Climate Accord was one side, how do you bring the temperature to the desired level, that is 1.5 level, but at the same time, what are the few things we can make our planet not only happy, joyful, but also sustainable. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals, they were introduced and all countries agreed to implement these goals in their respective geographies. India too also joined this race, and because India is truly a developing economy now and has to catch up with a lot of things, if they can perhaps imbibe sustainable development goals in their developmental journey, perhaps India can also move to the next level of growth. After 2015, when all countries signed these agreement, the one of the thing was how to introduce these goals in the respective country. Many of the people today you find in India are fully aware what these goals are, known SDGs as. SDGs are your barometer for aligning yourself, making your society, making your country, making your organizations, and making your own home fully not only happy but also sustainable. So in India, Niti Aayog was mandated to introduce and also coordinate the progress and also implement work around sustainable development goals. At United Nations level, it was also felt while the respective government of the day will do their best to implement these goals, around the same time, how can we can reach out to corporate sector, the private sector, because without their support, the achievement of sustainable development goals will not materialize. So it is here the United Nations Global Compact was given the mandate to coordinate with the largest corporate sector of the world, perhaps was one more coordination point from the United Nations point of view. And we at United Nations, subsequently at our own respective countries, decided to coordinate with all these stakeholders, be the Niti Aayog, be the state government, be the corporate sector itself, be the civil society, be the academia, and even be the medium and small enterprises. So everywhere, we as United Nations Global Compact decided to bring as many as companies to be part of this initiative, and today our membership is growing almost 100% every year. And I must also share with you that how the sustainable development goals are very, very essential for the growth of community and society as a whole. Now I come to straightway the role of youth. Now, our youth has today, whether in India or elsewhere, are definitely different and more knowledgeable and more energized. The kind of environment they have got to make the best out of the education and make the best of the society, they were not there earlier. Our youth, provided with the necessary skills and opportunity needed to reach their potential, young people, we believe, can be a driving force for supporting development and contributing to peace and security. Youth-led organizations need to be encouraged and empowered to participate in translating the 2030 agenda. That is where the target for SDG has been agreed upon. That SDGs are the target that we have to achieve by 2030. National and regional policy will have to be accordingly brought in. They play a significant role in the implementation, monitoring, and review of the agenda, as well as in holding governments accountable. With political commitment and adequate resources, young people have the potential to make the most effective transformation of the world into a better place for all. You saw in the last year in the UN Assembly time, there is a lady called Greta who championed the cause of climate, and she made all the people known that what kind of earth or planet we are able to misuse or we are able to leave behind for generation to come. And that is where she could get noticed by so many billions of people around the world. It was the youth. And whatever you see, the change happens in any geography of the world, including India, the power of youth is always overemphasizes. So I would say how the role of youth comes in sustainable development goals. From my perspective, knowing the power of youth, we should leverage their power for achieving SDGs targets, because they are the people who will also face the brunt of if we do not achieve the SDG targets. Many of the people, those who are in the age of 15 to 25, will have to really see the outcome if we are not able to do well on achieving SDG targets. So they will face the consequences. You see today the COVID-19 all over the world is one example which has caused so much disturbance, not only in respective economies of the world, but in the lives of every people today across the globe. The role of these young people therefore becomes very, very key in ensuring that we as senior people cannot be taken granted. We have to also bring them into the process of bringing change. So one way, I have a few ideas in ensuring that how the youth can become a change champion. First, I see they will be or they are already critical thinkers. Part of being young involves making sense of personal experiences and asking questions about the world around you, because they are so knowledgeable. They know everything. Today we are being part of the globalized community. They also know what are so relevant for them, and they also recognize how it is relevant. So they have the unique power of asking questions about the world that they are seeing around. Youth have the capacity to identify and challenge existing power structures and barriers to change, and to expose contradictions and biases. The second thing that I want to see the power of youth is through the change makers. I gave you the example of Greta, but there are many Gretas in the world and many Gretas even in India. The young people also have the power to act and mobilize others. Youth activism is on the rise the world over, bolstered by broader connectivity and access to social media. I do not wish to be political, but you see the campaign the young people started in geography of Hong Kong for their own right to live their own way the way they feel, because it was sheer part of the sustainable development goals going forward. Third, I see how youth can become innovators. In addition to critical thinker or change makers, they can build fresh perspectives. They can often bring direct knowledge and insight of issues that are accessible to adults. Youth best understand the problems they face and can offer new ideas and alternative solutions. Fourth, they are the best communicator. They can play a role of a very powerful communicators. If you see, without communication, no society, no organization can make a useful impact. Therefore, youth need to imbibe a very forceful, powerful communicator. Outside the international development sector, if you today see, some people know about SDG, and but how many people should know about SDG? From my point of view, every person on the earth should know about what 17 sustainable development goals are. And everybody has also to recognize the importance of these sustainable development goals. Only then this mammoth task that we have on our head to achieve these targets, they are exactly 169 targets of SDG, they are then subsequently to be taken as a movement, as a campaign for everyone. And so therefore, the power of youth is the key there. And if you look at today, I want in India that only people who have some specific aptitude or some specific interest to contribute beyond business, they only know about SDGs. But how many other people, right from school level or even to higher education level or even to advanced level of education, how many young people today are involved in doing something or the other around SDGs? My experience so far is not much. There are some innovative organizations, there are innovative youth who have really taken their plunge. They are leaving their very cozy jobs and coming into the mainstream of sustainable development goals, where they can build their career plans, they can build their future, and that is also have started now very, very well. And so, therefore, coming back to my point, that youth, these people will come to a very historic, far-reaching agreement, and like the SDGs that we always call it is a very ambitious agenda, so that the lives of people in the planet can be improved. Young people can be partners to communicate the developmental agenda to their peers, to their families, to their communities at the local level, and as well as across countries and regions. Now, I also see, which is my next point, about young power to be leaders in their own way and in their own thinking and in their own actions. When I think of young people, I always believe that they have the best appreciation of social issues as compared to what we all from the earlier generations. And today the young people knows what is right, what is wrong. Fortunately, the power of technology that they have embraced, they can knew everything at whatever is happening across the globe by push of the button. And SDGs are also no less unreachable. So when young people are empowered with the knowledge of their rights and equipped with the leadership skills, they can drive uh, the change to their communities and countries, and youth-led organizations and networks in particular should be supported and strengthened because they contribute to the development of civic leadership skills among young people, especially marginalized youth. So when we talk about the Sustainable Development Goals, I must share with you, ladies and gentlemen, we have to also bring with us the marginalized peoples, bottom of the pyramid. No society can take credit of developing themselves without empowering the marginalized and also bottom of the pyramid. So they have to be also integrated as a part of the agenda. And I would like to simply call upon the youth to integrate those people as well as in the campaign to bring SDGs to their home, to their organizations, to their society, wherever they live, because it is this marginalized youth power or bottom of the pyramid power also then becomes mainstream of the development. And unless we do not take care of them, because I am deliberately reinforcing this point, our development will not be complete. And we should enable them, we should empower them to come forward and recognize them in their own way so that they can also join the mainstreams. Another way, I also want to tell you that whenever people from the bottom of the pyramid given empowerment or given opportunities to contribute, they have always surprised. They have done better than people who have everything of the earth, everything possible resources to their credit. So we have to treat everybody equally. We have to give opportunities to people equally, give the environment to people equally, and empower them equally, and make them equal partner of the progress. So if that happens through our youth leadership, I am sure no country or no society can be left behind when we think of a society that is not only prosperous but also very happy and joyful. In India, I must say that our government of the day have very well recognized the imperative of sustainable development goals, and they have very smartly embraced all the sustainable development goals in their own policies and programs. And so is about the state government as well. India being a democratic country, while there may be a difference between one party to another, but when it comes to development, when it comes to sustainable development goals, the entire state government of the India also are working in hand to hand on achievement of these targets. Because we believe that if it is in our own way, if we are able to curate those SDG targets in our programs and policy, possibly India can make a huge change in the global, not only in the economy, but also overall societal framework. I must tell you that our own United Nations Global Compact recognize the power of India, and especially when they see the number and the scale and the geography that we have to our advantage. And with so many 1.3 billion people here, and especially the 65% of that is under the age bracket of 65, we are very well poised to make a huge difference here. And if we achieve the India targets of sustainable development goals, then perhaps the world will achieve the targets of sustainable development goals by 50%. So 50% of SDG targets lies in India because it is such a huge country and huge populations. We have to bring everyone to the best of our capability, almost everyone at par with their progress. So, if that is the scale, I would say if today, if I can say if we can achieve today SDG targets, we can only say we can do it with the youth power. And I'm happy to again share with you today the new education policy, which is all of you are waiting for, the draft education policy, have today also integrated the sustainability or for that matter, SDGs as part of the curriculum. It is only with a very clear-cut view that if you do not look at this aspect, that whatever we may progress, it will not be a holistic progress. So we have to recognize, and I'm seeing it whenever the parliament takes up this issue in India about approving the new education policy. And when you see SDGs part of your curriculum, it is important that we then subsequently run our various activities around SDGs. And today there are several institutions that are anyway without even waiting for the new education policies have already started doing many competitions and many activities or making sure that the students that they are getting educated in respective such institutions are fully aware the consequences of not being aligned with the sustainable development goals. And I want to tell you that even at United Nations Global Compact level, we have already introduced since last year that Young Innovator Awards. Basically, when young people start doing very great job in the respective country or for geography for that matter, then as a United Nations Global Compact, we can bring them on the platform of UNGC at New York. So this year, I must tell you that India is participating in these competitions as Global Compact India. We have announced this, and soon there will be entry, except there has been some delay due to lockdown. But we will overcome that lockdown, and soon we'll see many people participating as of now for that program. And I also want to share with you that we have done two competitions with two great institution of the day. One was the Empower, a organization in Mumbai, who had done a competition for again young people, even at the age of from not studying in class 10th to 14th, they were given opportunities to give solutions for such a numerous problem that India is facing, especially the water, the gender, the quality education, the zero hunger, or for that matter, the water or sanitation. So I must say that 1,300 schools participated in that competition, and we could bring top three institutions to our national convention this year and recognize them with their good work. And equally, there is another institution named called ILM University. They also initiated a competition on innovation challenge, where the school children and up to the level of 10 plus 2 were given opportunities to showcase their ideas, their, for that matter, their knowledge leadership, their creativity, their professional prowess, the challenging their knowledge leadership. So they were given this topic, and I'm happy to share over 300 schools participated in this innovation challenge, and they also got awards at our quality education conclave. Yeah, that award was given by our UNESCO India head, and they were very encouraged and they were very happy about this. So all over the world, that I want to say that the SDGs today are our future. SDGs today are a framework on which every country has to work. And I want to also share today, because a lot of young people must be participating in this program across the regions, that United Nations also has another initiative called PRME, Principle of Responsible Management Education. This initiative is also today led by UN Global Compact New York, and it is spread to all over the world. And today, as far as I know, over 6,000 institutions are part of this initiative. And the aim of this PRNE is to make our managers who are graduating from respective institution to become responsible and also accountable in their own way when it comes to not only achieving SDG targets but also achieving the targets of their own companies, their own society, wherever they work for. So, what is the good education? Is all about based on ethics, and also it is all about being responsible. It is all about how you can inspire and ignite to others. So, this PRME initiative, I am happy to share today that India is one of the active country which is initiating this. We have many signatures in India. Over 100 institutions have already signed up. More will join soon. There are institutions, IIMs, the universities, the schools, and also the colleges, PGDM colleges, all over, they are recognizing the need for it. And we also believe that if you can reach out to the youth through these platforms, then as UNGC, we would have done our bit to make young as our champions of change. And I also want to say that youth is the answer for all our possible challenges that we as society will face, and they will be our champion to curate some of the innovative solutions going forward to make this universe bigger, better, joyful, happier, and sustainable. And I want to come before I say goodbye. It is all about COVID 19. The COVID 19, all of you know, I want to say without much of any controversy that had we followed the United Nations Global Compact principles, the 10 principles, or even to the extent of 17 SDGs, I can assure you that we could have not reached to the level that we are in as far as COVID 19 is concerned. But somewhere in the system, somewhere in the we have started compromising on basic values of running not only our lives but organizations and countries as well, and we have got the man-made created problems, whether it is water, whether it is the integrity, whether it is the ethics, whether it is the climate, whether it is the health and well-being. Everything then comes and takes its own toll. So, ladies and gentlemen, I must say that all of you have a very great challenge on your head. If you want to really become the partner in that challenge to make the society happier and sustainable, I think you can play a very distinct role. And as UNGC India network, will be more than happy to initiate many such intervention which will enable you to contribute towards their journey. So with that note, I must thank once again Nitinji and Sanjeev for giving me this platform and today to share some ideas related to UN SDGs and the role of youth. Thank you very much. One of the questions that I see here, how do we curate SDG as part of the school curriculum? And as I mentioned to you that in the new education policy, this has already been included. And as and when in the next session of parliament, when new education policy get approved, and you will see this SDG become the part of the school curriculum. And second question as regards how do we get this SDG get integrated in the colleges. And as I mentioned to you that UN PRME initiative that is now got launched by the United Nations is only targeting colleges, and that initiative will be again for bringing the students into the mainstream of getting engaged with the SDGs. And that is why I have told you that in India, over 100 institutions have already signed up. And soon we will reach out to other institutions as well. And if they also become part of the UNPRME, and we will initiate many interventions, many competitions, many capacity building awareness programs, and also some way about the social responsibility related projects, where students also feel that yes, we have been able to get to learn something on this, and whenever they become the change agent, when they go to work or they go to entrepreneurship, they will be able to carve out something related to all SDGs when they go to their own careers. And also, I must say that colleges has a huge possibilities, because today all colleges are looking forward to be called as socially responsible college. You know, what do you mean by this? Because how can you bring even your own colleges as socially responsible, or even I want to say how they can call it even SDG aligned school or college. So that means they have to bring something around everything in the campus life of students related to SDGs. So those activities, or whenever we work with those colleges and bring some understanding about various projects, various opportunities of associating students with those projects, I'm sure our task will become much easier. And if that understanding come from the school and college itself, then our much of the awareness today with that we lack will not be there. So if the child or any children or any college student knows what SDGs are, how they are useful, relevant for our society to become sustainable, obviously, then they will be much easier for us to achieve these targets and look forward to a greater futures. So thank you for these two questions.